This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. So, did you practice yesterday class? Any questions in yesterday's class? Hope I'm audible. Did you practice yesterday? Any questions from yesterday's session?
Madan, I'm still behind, so I have not done for yesterday.
Okay, okay, okay. No problem. So if you do know, you can ask. You can able to ask questions if you are not having. If you have any issues while practicing, you can ask. So that chance will be there. No problem. You practice later also. No problem. I will ask me if you have any questions later. No problem. So anyway, let's continue today. So yesterday we were discussed various scenarios, and we yesterday we saw how to create, how to install. So Git is already installed in Ubuntu, but if it is not installed, we have to install it. Simply apt install Git. That's it. And then yesterday we also created a Git repository, right? So the repository where we have created, so the instances and right. So yesterday we have created a repository, and repository name is FedEx Project March 1, March 13. This is a repository and this is a file we have created yesterday. Some normal changes we did. What else we did yesterday? So I told you that if development has already started, a developer 2 will do below steps. So if developer 2, another person joined and he want the latest code which already in progress, then what he has to do? He has to do git clone and he has to give the path of the repository, right? And after that, if he done any other changes, then he has to do the changes and he has to push the changes. So let's try to understand these steps, git clone as well as git pull, both we will try to understand today, and the other topics also will cover. For that, what we have to do is, let's create a scenario, real-time scenario, where there will be multiple developers, but for this session what we do, we'll create only two instances, two users, two developers. Okay, so let's create the two developers, something I will say server one. If you're using Amazon also, you can use it. If you used Amazon, then you have to install git using command yum install git. Same command we learned, right? So software name is git. That's it. Select Ubuntu now. In Ubuntu, it will be already pre-installed. So select Ubuntu and rest of the changes keep like that. And how many instances I want? I want two instances. Okay, I want two instances. I want to create two users so that I can demonstrate how these two developers can work together. Launch instance. Both having same name, right? So I will change this to server 2. Let's connect server 1. We'll name it as dev 1. Now is developer 1 now. Okay, so I will work on developer. I will set up the other server as well. Meanwhile, to avoid session timeout, I'll simply say google.com. Okay, the session will not expire. Okay, let it be run, no problem. Don't confuse. If you have any confusion, please let me know. I will clear it. So I'm trying to create another developer. Oh, the developer 2 also working. So both developers are there now. So as of now, as you know, yesterday what we did, we install initially we have to say git init. Afterwards, git will track the files. Whatever you create, it will track the files, right? And before that, before commit, when you commit, you have to introduce yourself so that git can track the user with his username and email id, right? These things we did yesterday. Now today, for example, I will show one example. For example, here we already have one repository. We already have one repository. Yesterday, we know how we created a repository. Today also we'll try to create one more time. Now let's try one example here. If it is already there, then in this repository, in this project, there is only one file. But in real time, you will have multiple files. If it is Java or Angular application, React application, or .NET application, it will have lot of files, right? But as of now, for to understand the main topic Git and GitHub, let's play with a few files. If you have more files, you will be confused. So we have file one now. What I will do, as a developer one, already priority is there. A developer one is newly joined, and this person, that manager will say that, please get the latest code from the GitHub. You will say, please get the latest code from the GitHub. So how can he get the latest code from the GitHub? He simply clicks on the code. He will go to the repository. Actually, these are main home page, and in this we will have multiple repositories. So if the company having multiple repositories, you will see more repositories over here. The after of it, you have to select your repository. The manager will inform you, or your tech lead will. Not exactly we won't do these things. Actually, that it is in the point of development point of view. The developer will be instructed by the tech lead or the manager. So whoever giving KT to them, they will inform them. Then this person will be click on the repository name, and that person what he will do, he will click on the code button. Here code button is there. Here you will see, here we option clone option is there. Okay, so we have https ssh. So when you click https, this is a link, and ssh, we also see what is ssh as well today. Let's click on https and copy this https link. Then what the person will do, you will go to his server, control c. Now what you will do, simply will say git clone. Already git is there or not? Git version, it is here. When you say git clone, let's see what will happen. And one more thing, right now you will see git clone. Right click and paste the link. Now press enter. What it's saying, cloning into FedEx project 13. A folder will be created with this name. A directory or folder will be created with this name. Now when this developer, when you say ls, you will see a new folder with name FedEx project March 31. When you get inside cd ls, you will see the same file which was available in the git, the same file one. So if this repository contains 100 files or 1000 files, every file will be downloaded. How you downloaded? Git clone this command. Then if you say ls hyphen a, you see dot git also already available. That means no need to do git init, no need to do git init. So to see what the information this git contains, what information, what it has stored in this in its configuration file, then we have to say git config hyphen list. When you say git config hyphen list, it's saying that the remote origin, the remote is a variable. In this, the value is the path of the repository will be stored in the origin variable. In origin variable, it will be stored. What is the branch name? This is the main branch. Okay. Now everything is there, but one thing is not there here. What is that? User details. This developer one is cloned it, but now this, now when you say ls here, one is for example, and this person assume he has developed something. You say something like vi file, a new file he created, something like this, and here you will say insert, type I here, I, and you will be into insert mode. This is new code change, new code change. Okay, something. So I'm playing with small files. Okay, I'm not playing with the project. So we will do that after learning few tools. We will do that as well, but as of now let's concentrate on git commands, learning git commands. Enter now. Now if you say git status, file 2 is now added. Now what this developer will do, he will try to commit it. So first of all, he has to move this file 2 from his local directory to the staging. So for to move it to staging, then what he has to do, he has to say git add dot or file name or hyphen all. Now ls, sorry, git status, now it is staged now. Okay, and the command is clearly saying to restore. So it is already staged. If you want to restore back, then you say get restore and the file name. Naveen, yesterday somebody asked, did you Googled and tried how to unstage multiple files? Yesterday we checked only one file. Anybody tried? Anybody did some R&D? How to unstage multiple files if you have multiple files? Okay, try that. Okay, that's an assignment. So just assignment, how to restore multiple files. If you have only one file, no problem. I can say restore file 2. And if you have more than one file, I want to unstage. I want to unstage. That means which I moved from local directory to sorry, our working directory to the staging, that then, but I want to roll back it. Then I can say it's saying that git restore hyphen staged to unstage. So the same thing I will try to do, hyphen staged, and the file name. When I press enter, now if I say git status, it is now unstaged again. It went back to our working directory. It's not in the staged. Okay, it's not in the staged state. So what I have to do, again just for demo purpose I've shown to you, but anyway I will do now git add dot, now you say git status is the one, and then I have to do git commit hyphen a message, right, message. Okay, new file added, that is file 2, something, some message. The developer will give proper message here. If he creates something like this, then there will be peer review. The reviewing will be done by the tech lead or by peer reviewing done by other developer. So while when they review the code, at the time if they see the comments, some silly comments like this, then they will reject it. They will ask to the developer that give proper comment. While committing, give proper commit. Some comment properly comment should be mentioned over there. Simply mentioning like this will not work. Anyway, that is their problem, developer's problem. Now git commit hyphen m, and the now it will say, it's saying, asking same, we saw this yesterday as well. So this information was not there. So who is committing? So git has to track, right? For that reason it is asking his name and other details. So hyphen global user dot email, we'll say dev1 dot something code gmail. Similarly, some name you can give any name, but in real time your email id will be your employee id, right? Your employee when you're working, you will have your employee email id, right? That id you have to give, and username will be your employee id. Normally we have to give like that. Now if you say git config list, see here username is, these two lines are updated here. Now this person can now do a git commit. So instead of typing everything, you can click on up arrow. Up arrow, when you click up arrow, so previous command will come here. No need to type again. So git commit new file added file to enter. Now you see this commit ID is created now. If you see git log now, so your a new commit ID is created now. Here it's saying origin main. It's saying origin main. Here head main it's saying. That means origin main means on your central repository or your get or your git on your GitHub. When origin main means this is the latest ID updated over there. Okay, but your head pointer is pointing to another new commit ID. Another new commit ID. This is not there in your central repository. This ID is not there in your central repository. So meaning is that origin main means currently this is the commit ID available on the central repository, and here in the local repository we have this commit ID. So when you do a push now, then this ID will be more added to your central repository, right? So let's check that as well. You see this is a commit ID, right? 6A40. Okay, 6A40, where is that? 6A40 is a commit ID. If you see, observe here, 6A40 is a commit ID. So starting few digits are alphanumeric digits are showing over there. Now next what I have to do, push. So if I say git push, then I will say origin main. Main is a branch name. Origin is your path, your central repository path, and main is your branch on that central repository path. Now press enter. It's asking username, right? Username. Okay, this is the username. So this is the username. Then your password. Yesterday we have saved a token number, right? This is a token. Now it is changed. Now it is saying that this is a previous commit ID. Now it is moved to new commit ID. Okay, if you go and check now, the new commit ID will be updated, and moreover, if you say git log here, now you see both your head and your origin both are pointing to the same commit ID. But previously how it is, origin is pointing here, this is matching with your central repository ID, and our commit is one step ahead, one commit ID ahead. So but now after pushing, all are sync, now all are pointing to the same commit ID. So that difference you should understand. When it's showing, this means your repository, central repository having this now, this one, but this is a new commit ID. New commit ID, it is above, it is ahead one commit ID above. So for that, to make it in sync with our central repository, then you have to say git push. When you say git push, automatically our origin, which is here before, and the second year when is here it is before, it will be moved automatically to the latest commit ID. Now when you check the when you click on the repository name here, when you click on this, automatically you will see 15A0. It is the latest commit ID. And our file 2 also showing here. New file added. File 2 is added here. Right? New file 2 is added here. Now next time this is second user now. So first user is committed. Fine. So I will say ping google.com. Why? Because now I want to move to another server, another console. So if I don't do this, this session will time out. That is the reason I entered that. Otherwise no reason for that. Now I went to second console, and here is developer 2. Okay, clear the screen. Developer 2 also do what? He also has to clone. Now he joined now he want the latest code. Now you want the latest code. So what you will do? Same steps, right? So it will be helpful to you. I'm repeating the same steps again. Hopefully you are not confusing. So now this, what you will do, you will say git clone. Simply say git clone, and you will go to repository, clicks on code here, and copies the, under https he copies the link here. Copy. So now we also got the same project. When you say ls, now is inside, we got the project cd fedex. Just type f and tab, enter ls. Now you got two files now. Okay, if you see file 2, cat file 2, this new code change. So whatever the previously made by the developer 1, that changes are automatically came here. Okay, now the same thing. If you see again git config hyphen list, here these user details are not there. See, username, user email id, username are not there, because he is a new user, other developer. So for developer also he has to introduce it himself. Now let's try to do one thing. He will make another change. Now you will say, what you will say, cat or vi. You can use cat or vi. If you are editing, if you want to edit more lines, then go with vi editor. Otherwise one single line cat is enough. So vi, and you will say file, or I'll say task1, task1, enter, insert mode, I press I here. This is a new task 1 done by something. I have to. Now if you say git status, not it's not in staging now, right? Now what you can do, we'll say git add dot git commit. Next what? Task 1 has been completed by something dev2. But when you commit, what will happen? You will get an error like this. Say he is to introduce himself, right? So just copy this and right click. Just copy, select it. That's all. Don't copy. Just select it and right click here. Paste. Similarly, just select this up to here. Right click, paste. Now click on up arrow. So this is a commit we were trying to commit. Press enter. Now if you see git log.
Yeah, Madan.
Yes, please.
Yeah, every time we do not use like user mail and like that. Every time we are repeating, right? For that there is another option, I think. So like set option.
You are right, but we will do only one time. Next time when you
Okay.
commit, it will not ask you. If you commit next time, it will not ask you. He's a new developer, right? It's the first time.
Okay.
Only one time you will do. Next time
Okay.
it will not ask you, because when you say git config list now, so now the git has been stored now. That information is stored now. Next time onwards it
Okay.
will not ask you, right? Right. Now if you see, observe carefully, when you git log, now again the pointer has moved to one step ahead. Now a new commit id has been created. Now that head pointer is pointing to another commit id, and but your central repository containing the this old commit id, this latest one is not there in the central repository. So what you will do now, git push origin main. So again you have to give the name, but in real time we will not use this. I will show that as well in a moment. DevOps before. So again and again we won't use this way. Now it's updated. Now the commit is updated to D278. So when you go to your main branch, and if you click on your branch repository name, it will be refreshed. Now you see task one has been added here. Task has added, and a new commit ID also added here. Now developer 2 has did this. Okay, when you click on this, see, you see developer dev2.code, he has did this. If you click on this task one, the file content will be shown here. And who did it? dev2.code has did it, right? Now anyway, click on the repository name again, and this is the latest code in this repository. This is the latest code, but our first developer, first of all, to avoid session timeout, I will again here also on developer 2 server I will do, don't confuse. Okay, here I will say google.com, it will start pinging here. I am done with developer 2. Now let me go to developer 1 back, control C. Now you see here, clear the screen. If you say ls, this person developer 1 does not have the latest file, that is task 1 file is not there for him. So file 1, file 2 only available for him. Okay, so the latest file, that is task 1, is not there. This is added by the another developer. So always the developers has to take the latest code. They have to take the latest code, and only then they have to start the work. Okay, I told you yesterday, always when they come to office early, the first hour before they start coding, they have to run a command. What is that, if you remember?
Git push.
Git pull. No, git pull has to done, right? Scenario 3, if developer 1 did some code changes, then developer 2 or all other developers also has to get those changes onto his local repository. Okay, a developer 2 will do below steps: install git, choose location where to download. See, this install git I am saying here, don't confuse. Okay, if is the first time, if he is doing the first time, okay, only for the first time, that too if git is not available. So that is it. Now when you say choose location where to download the existing code, okay, so git pull, when you say git pull, then automatically the files, so here you see automatically the task one is there. This will be automatically pulled to onto where, onto the developer 1 branch. For the developer 1, you will get that file. For developer 1, as of now, this person is not seeing the file that is for task 1. You simply is to say git pull. You see one file changed. Now you say git status, sorry, git ls, simply say ls. Now you got task 1. So what I did, simply I did git pull, that's all, nothing more. Hope you understood what is git push and git pull and what is git clone. So you should understand, in interview they will ask you what is the difference between git clone and git pull. So if you understood the scenario, then any, if they ask whatever way they want, the interview question can be formed in multiple ways, no problem. If you know the scenarios properly, then if you practiced well, then whatever way they ask the question, you can answer it. So clone, you can even explain to them this complete scenario as well, right? Clone normally used by the new developer, or else for example, assume the old developer is there, but unfortunately some hard disk crash has happened. you lost everything, no problem. So when a company replaces the hard disk, new hard disk, then you can simply say git clone, right? You have to say git clone. When you say git clone, all the code will be again fetched from the central repository to his local repository, and he can continue working on it. Please let me know if you have any questions till now. If not, then no. Let's understand. Let me check whether we covered this scenario. Git pull we covered. Git push we did already. Git clone also we did, right? And git push. This git push actually, no, not immediately. After adding some files and folders, hmm, to git push. Okay? Normal. Hope you understanding. So what we are trying to do, these things you should understand. The basics, very basics. So every time you have to, first time you have to say git init. First time. That means you don't have, you created a repository first time, you created a repository for the first time, there is no repository at that time only. You have to create a repository. At that time only you have to say git init. Otherwise not required to say git init. Why? Because the developer, whoever starting the project, he simply can clone it, right? He will go here and he can clone it. You no need to do git init, because what happens if you do git init, a .git file folder will be created, right? If you clone it now, you will get it, you will get the .git folder when you clone it. So you no need to do a git init. If already a repository, a project is available in the repository, then no need to do git init by the other developer. You can simply clone it, and this step you can avoid. This git init step you can avoid. This step we will do only when there is no project, the project is starting from scratch. At that time only we do git init. And git pull, hope you understood. If developer, other developer did some code changes, he has to pull it. For example, you take this scenario again. This person now, what he did, file 1, file 2, file 3. Okay, let's see the content of file 2 now. File 2, file 2, it contains, this is new code change. Okay, then what I will do, I will add one more line to it. Insert mode. This is second line something. Now this developer 1 has modified this file. He has modified file 2. If you say git status, okay, file 2 is modified. And remember one thing, I will send you, I will update the this text file with some more running nodes. But as of now, running nodes will be like this, but I will add some more comments. I will take some time and update it and I'll send you. So if a file already exists and modified, then we can directly use below git command. That is, you can say simply git -a. So normally -a and yum, if you say, sorry, git commit -am and commits. So this is a combination of git add dot and git commit -m. You do both of them, right? And commits. So instead of doing these two steps, running these two commands, you can write single command. You can write single command. But condition is the file should already exist. The file should already exist which you are trying to commit. If the file is a new file, then this it will not work. So if file does not exist and modified, then we can directly use below git command instead of doing git and commit. So now what I will do, this file 2 is changed now. Simply I will say git commit -am and file 2 been modified. Now you see I have not used git add now. So file 2 has been committed, right? And if you see git log now a new commit ID has generated. Who did it? Developer 1. But did he push it to the did he push it to whatever center repository? Not yet, right? Here you will get, if you have a lot of commit IDs, you will get a colon here. You can scroll down. You can scroll down or enter. You see a simply q type q here. That's it. Q type q. Okay. Now we are out of it. Okay. Next thing is what? Git push. We'll do push now to origin. And next your main branch. Again, see, every time it will ask for username password, right? So immediately in next step we'll avoid this. How to avoid these things we'll understand in a moment. Copy this. There you give your username. It's done now. And see here, cat file 2 we modified, right? You see this is second line, it's in file 2. And when you go to the other console, control C, ls, cat file 2, it having only one line. This is new code change, that's all. But to get the latest update, what you can do, you should say git pull. And it's a git pull, you see. So everything is updated, is what you call, previous commit ID is also updated with the new commit ID 680522229. If you observe here also, this is the latest commit ID. 68052 is the latest commit ID. So previously it was D278. Now it is saying the same thing. Previous commit ID is updated to the new commit ID. At the same time, all the files also updated. Now if you use the same command, now this time git cat file 2, you see file 2, the second line also coming here for developer 2. Hope you understand why you use pull command. So every time, whenever the developer, before he pushing the code, before he pushing the code, you should always pull the code first of all. Why? Because you should think that maybe other person might be already did some same changes to the same file. If I push it, then these changes will be update overwritten. Actually, not overwritten. You will get error actually. So you get error actually. One moment. Now, ping google.com. Fine now. Next, what I want to do, to avoid, we just saw some problem. Always you are logging, you have to give username and password. So to avoid that, what we have to do? So we use another option, that is SSH. We use SSH option. So if you see the URL here, this is the URL, https github.com, like that. If you select SSH, instead of https you have git@github.com, like that. It's a different URL, you see. So when you clone using SSH, then you have to do few things in the one time you have to do. After doing that, whenever you push, then the Git will not ask you to authenticate every time. It will not ask you authenticate every time. How it is possible? Let's try to understand. First, let's go to our first server instance here, control C. And before that, what I will do, from scratch, let's do it from scratch. For example, I want to create one more repository now. Let's, if you have some issue yesterday, if you not practice, no problem. Another one time I'm showing you, another time I'm showing here now. Now simply go to your main dashboard. Okay, then on the right side you can click on new repository. Click on new repository. This time I'll say some Amazon web project, something web project. This name is available. Okay, then it's public, of course, and then create repository. Now it is saying same thing yesterday we did. So by default, if you observe here, remote add origin HTTPS, this way it is showing, right? And if you select SSH here on the top, by default HTTPS is selected here. If you select SSH, you see the link has been changed now. It is git at the rate GitHub. So if we have to go with SSH. Yesterday till now we use HTTPS. Now from today onwards we'll check use SSH. Using this, we will connect our local repository to the central repository. Why we are doing this? To avoid always authentication and doing authentication whenever we want to push our code to central repository. To avoid that authentication part, we are going with SSH. So these things we have to do now. So when we run this execute these commands, then our local repository will able to connect to our central repository. First of all, git init, these steps again we have to do from scratch. So for that, what I will do, let's implement for first user, developer 1. I will come out of this project. Less. So you can keep this directory, no problem. Otherwise also you can remove it also. How to remove? Remove if that folder contains some files, what you have to do? Remove -r, right? -r and FedEx. If folder is empty, then simply what you have to do rm dir, remove dir and folder name if it is folder is empty. But folder is not empty, then you should say not rm dir, you should say rm -r and then folder directory name. Press enter. It is done now. ls, it is cleared now. Next, what step you have to do? First of all, it is from scratch we are doing, right? So make a directory. Initially you have to make a directory. You are not cloning, right? If you cloning, then you get the repository name as a folder, but you don't have any repository. I'm cloning it. I will say Amazon proj something or web proj. You can use same name as per repository without any confusion. Make dir web proj, then enter cd Amazon ls. So if you say ls -a, what are you getting? Nothing is there. No, we don't have .git folder here. Then to get it, what we have to do? You have to run the command git init. First time, only for the first time. Okay, git init. Now a master branch is created by default. If you say now ls -a, you see .git is there, right? Next thing is what? Go to our center repository. It's saying to run the git init for the first time, and this is not required. Commit no files as of now. I don't have any files as of now. I will ignore this as well. And then if you want to keep the same master branch, you can keep it. Otherwise you can run this command as well, no problem. I want a main branch. Okay, paste it. Now a main we are pointing to, instead of master branch default branch, I am pointing to main branch now. Next thing, it is saying that git remote add origin, this command you have to run. Okay, this command we have to run. So copy this. Now it is done now. Next thing is what? Git push. One thing we have to do here before we doing a git push. Okay, what we have to do? How to use, how to connect using SSH. Okay, so these are the commands we know. Okay, after that, before we push anything, this step is anyway not required. Commit, as of now I'm not doing any commit, you can ignore it. Branch, okay, and then here remote connection has been established now. Okay, now we say git config list, then your remote URL origin is created now. Okay, username is already there with the same username. These are there now. Fine. Next thing is what? Generate a SSH private and public key, okay, using below command. You have to generate public and private key. Okay, how to do that? We have to say SSH keygen. This is a command we have to run. SSH keygen. What it will do? It will create private key, and this command will create. So these are all, see, interview question, they may ask you, right, how you connect. Normally they, this way they ask you when we how to connect without any authentication. Then you should say we can connect using SSH. Okay, and if you explain the whole process also, that's fine. The next question you will not ask again on SSH. So this command will create private and public key inside .ssh folder. So let's check that. Here I am running SSH keygen. Command is wrong. It's saying that generating public private RSA key pair. So enter the file in which to save the key. Okay, by default it is saying it will save in .ssh folder, in the root folder is a .ssh folder. In that it will create a file with the name idrsa. So it will create two files, idrsa and id underscore rsa dot pub, both. Okay, you here no need to change. If you want to change any path, you can change it. Otherwise, normally we use the default one. Now click enter. Now it will ask enter passphrase. Passphrase means nothing but to make your password more strong. You can enter some key value so that the default generated key will be merged with your passphrase what you have given. But that much is not required for now. Press enter now. Enter same passphrase again. Enter now. Now it is generated. Now a key has been generated. Where I can see it? I can see it in where? In the root folder .ssh folder. There only I can see, not in the, I can't see in the my own folder. You have to come out of your old folder, come out of your current folder. Now you say ls. If you say ls, you won't see the hidden file, right? Say ls. So we are the root user. See, we are the root user. It is saying it is stored in the root user, but in that it having a hidden folder. Dot is there, right? So ls hyphen a. When you say hyphen a, you will see .sh. This is a folder. You see the color, and this is also color, another hidden folder. But this is not a folder; it's a file. If it is a, this is a color, then it's a folder and hidden also. This is a file hidden. So that is a, based on the color you can differentiate whether it is a file or folder. Next what? Let's get into the hidden folder cd.ssh ls. See, we have two keys, id rsa, id rsa dot pub, ls hyphen l. So they are created just now. This is existing one, but default it will, you will get it. Okay, this when we started this server, at the time it is created. So this is the two just now created, 423 423. Anyway, if you see the content of private key will be lengthy. Normally we use in our cloud private key, the same private key which we download, this is the same private key. If you now if you say cat id enter, this is a private key. Okay, now if I say id, sorry, cat dot tab, this is a public key. Press enter. Public key will be small. Public key will be small. So what we have to do? This public key you have to copy. Copy this public key. Just select it. That's all. Just select. Don't copy. Just select the complete public key. Next, what we have to do? Go to your repository. I am duplicating this repository. Duplicate. Here on the right side, click on here and go to your settings. Now in the settings, just come down on the left side. You will see SSH and GPG keys. Yesterday we created a token by clicking on developer settings, right? Yesterday we clicked on, and then we created our tokens here. Thus tokens we don't want to use now. I don't want to use tokens. Okay, click on settings here on top here. Go back and come click on SSH and JPG keys. Click on it. Now here SSH keys, there are no SSH keys associated with your account, right? So then what I will do, click on new SSH key. Here you can give any title. I will give Amazon project something, some nice name I will give project key, right? Then normally as a DevOps engineers, sometimes, most of the times, we'll get this kind of tasks. But knowing this is better, but doing if you do only this kind of tasks, then it's okay, but no, as part of job you have to do. But anyway, we do these setups and we will give to the developers so they can connect to it. So now title, and then you copy the public key here. Copy the public key like this and click on add SSH key. Before that, ask me to authenticate. Now this key has been added here. You see, the key is added on so and so date, right? Amazon project key. Next, what I have to do? So this is running, right? Oh, session. No, no problem. It's session is not expired for developer 2 and developer 1. I've copied this now. Next thing is what? See, let me provide you a document for all this tip. Simply Google. What you have to do? Generate SSH key is gen, something like this. You type generate SSH key is gen. So just scroll down. You see, for the GitHub have their documentation. The GitHub provided documentation generating a new SSH key and adding it to your SSH agent. Okay, you have to select this one. Open it, new tab. Okay, copy this. These steps. In these steps, here it will give how to connect on Mac, how to connect on Windows, how to connect on Linux. We are working on Linux, right? So in the Linux, scroll down. It given some extra uh, attributes, but as of now not required. You just use SSH key gen, that's enough. And then what you have to do, we actually, after keygen is added, public key we added here, public key we added here. Then what we have to do with private key? So the private key, what we have to do is, first of all, we have to add it to ssh add. So what is this? Add your ssh private key to your ssh agent. There will be a ssh agent running on every machine. There will be a process or a program called ssh agent is running on every machine. You can check it whether it is running or not. You can run this command just for verification purpose. If you see, just to verify whether that process is running, that program is running on a machine or not, then go here and just say right click and paste. If it is running, this program is running, then a process id should be displayed for you. Say agent process id, it's a id having 1409. That means ss agent is running and it having a process id 1409. That is fine. Then what? To that agent we have to tell that process to that program that please add this private key. Publicly we add here, and next step is add the private key to whom? To ssh agent program. So for that we have to run this command ssh add, and the path, where is that file available? This file name is different. Our file name is id underscore rsa, not this one. This is different. We have to modify it, right? Just copy this command. In this command, if you observe carefully, it's saying tilde slash dot ssh. That means wherever you run this command, it will be added default into the dot sh folder. So when you run this command and paste here, but already I'm in dot ssh. If you are already in dot ssh, no need to mention. If you're already there, you can run this. If you are, see, if you are already in dot ssh, then what you have to do? No need to mention. Simply you can say add rsa. Is fine. SSH add id rsa. This is fine. Is enough. because id RSA is already available in the same folder, right? This command is enough. Or if you are out of it, ls, if you are out of it, then this command will work. Oh, it is not copied. Command will work, but with file name change. We have to do the file name. Our file name is RSA, right? We have id RSA. See, in SSH I said ls. When I say ls, what I got? id RSA file. This file name, this is a private key and this is a public key. This key I added to the GitHub central repository. This is a private key. This one I have to add to our SSH agent. For that, just modify. Here I have to say RSA and enter. Now it's saying identity added. Identity added. Now everything is fine now. Everything is fine now. So till now what we did? First step, we generated the key and it created private and public key. Public key we as a associated, we copied into the central repository, and then private key what we did, we ran the command. So here you should say first command ssh region, and next command is to verify whether that server is running or not. This is only for verification purpose. It's not mandatory. To verify whether the ssh agent process is running or not. Then we have to, what we have to do, associate our, we have to associate our private key with the SS agent. For that, what we did, run this command if we are not in .sh folder. Okay? Then this will work. That's all. We are done. We are done. Next, let's understand. Let's go to our Amazon project now. CD Amazon project ls. It's a brand new repository. No files are there. No files are there. Now what I will do, I will say touch file 1, file 2, file 3, enter. Now I will say git status. I have 3 files now. I have 3 files which are having red color. Now we have to move them to staged. So simply I will say git, you say git add dot. Now you say git status now. Next, which is ready to move to the local repository. So I will say git commit m, new files are added. uh, right, all are done now. If you say git log now, the committed is generated now. Who did it what time. Next thing is what, git push. Git push origin main. Observe here, it is saying different. It is saying, are you sure you want to continue at connecting, yes or no? Okay, this key is not known by any other names. Okay, this the authenticator host GitHub can't be established. Okay, what you have to do, simply say yes. Now you see it has not asked you any password or username. Only first time it will ask you to press type in yes or no. After that it will not ask this as well. Next, what if you go to our repository, which is a repository, this is a repository, just open into new tab, and here just I click on the repository name, it will be refreshed with our 3 files. Developer 1 has been added, these 3 files. Now let's try to add one more file. This time it will not ask you anything. Now I want to add some content to file 1. File 1 is empty, right? I'll say file 1 This is a text in file 1. Enter Control C. Now file 1 is there. When you say, now I'll say simply git commit hyphen. I will not say add or something. I'll simply say commit a m shortcut. So file 1 has been updated. Enter. Now git push. Just say git push. That's all. Okay. Want again upstream. Okay. Give upstream. That is your origin and main. See, it has not asked us any username or password. How come? Because it has been handshaked with our private key and with the public key, which is on the central repository. Both private key and public key both handshaked, and they verified that we are authorized to do this operation. So automatically it will be moved. So in real time we will do this way. You have to practice this, please. Now ping google.com. Now let's go to our other person, developer 2, Control C. So this person, the same operation I'm repeating, cd dot dot ls. I will remove this file m. So now what you have to do? I have to run ssh keygen, right? Ssh keygen here on second machine. I'm repeating the same steps again. You can watch it again if you want. Now press enter. Just press enter, enter, enter. The key is generated now. Now what I have to do? So for every user, they have to copy their public key. Every user have to use their own public key. So let's go to ssh key ls at id. This is a public key. This public key I am copying now for developer 2. So like that, there could be any number of developers. For every person, they have to use their own public key. Copy, select this. So now go to settings, add one more key. You say dev2 is a key, add ssh key. This key is for dev2, developer 2. Next thing, as you know, what you have to do, we have to test whether our agent is running or not. Obviously, it will be running. Is running. Next thing is what? I have to add the private key. So I will say I am the SSH only, right? So what I will do? I will say ID RSA, and then I will remove this things because I'm already inside the .sh folder. Just run this. You see, identity added. That is done. Then cd dot dot ls. Because this developer 2, you want to do any you want to create any directory like directory like developer 1 did, right? Those steps are not required. Why? Because when developer 1 was working at the time, the repository was not there. Now the repository is ready. Now the developer 2 can clone it, right? So go to our website, go to our central repository. Okay, both are not required. Close one. So click on your home. It will go to your home page. Here select your repository. This is our repository, right? Select it, and now go to clone. This time you have to clone ssh, not the https. You have to clone ssh. Copy this. Now here I'll say git clone. Yes, type yes here. All set. Ls. Now clear the screen. Ls cd amazon tab, enter. Ls. See, all the three files are available here. Now this guy developer 2, what he will do, he will add another file, something like okay, touch, or simply say cat task 1. This is new task 1, okay, done by dev2, control C, ls. Task 1 is ready now. Simply I'll say git. It is now. If you try to git commit or if you say IAM will not work, right? Because it's a new file. Test. It will not allow you. You see, untracked file. This is untracked file. First, if it is new file, if it's new file, you have to use get add and file name mandatorily. This command will work only for the existing files. That is the reason you have to say git add dot and then git commit. Task 1 file added something. Now git push. Simply git push origin. Is that next is branch name. No username, no password. Now if you go here, we have only 3 files. Click on the project name, repository name. You see task 1 also came. And you know, here I will say ping google.com. Let's go to developer 1 now. Control C. ls. This person does not have task 1, right? What he has to do? Please, can anybody tell? You don't have task 1 file here. What he has to do? Naveen, Revanti, what? Swaraj, Shibin. Wow. This person, developer 1, does not have the file task 9, task 1. This file is not there.
Git pull we
You
need.
having only, I'm sorry? Git pull. Thank you. So
Git pull.
git pull, it's simple. Thank you. Got it. So what is saying? Git pull remote. It asking for what? Git pull and rating unpacking done. There is no tracking information for the current branch. Please specify which branch you want to merge with. Okay, so let me see ls. No problem. So it is somewhat confusing. Let's see git pull origin. Remote is remote. It's saying remote. Remote means the path of the repository where it is stored. In our local repository it is stored in the origin variable, right? Origin. Then what's the branch name? Branch name is a main branch. Okay, but anyway, how many branches we have? Only one branch, right? So why it is confusing? If sometimes if it says like this, then simply understand the command git pull. It asking for the remote and branch name. Okay, simply give git pull and origin and branch name and press enter. Now say ls. You see task 1 has come, right? If you see the content of task 1, you got this content. And who did that? Developer 2 did it. But who is getting it? Developer 1 is getting it. So it's very common. It is very common with the developers. They do it regularly. Okay. Hope you understand this concept, SS key generating and these concepts. If you have any questions, please ask me. I will repeat. Shibin, any questions here? Hi Shibin, good morning. Any questions, please? Long time we didn't spoken.
Hi, morning.
Hi, morning Shibin. How is it going? Are you practicing Shibin?
No, presently I'm not able to practice. So we will talk it up after the session if you have time, something like five to
Definitely,
five minutes
definitely.
about.
Sure, Shibin.
Okay,
Definitely,
thank you.
definitely. No problem.
Sure.
So let's understand another concept, that is git ignore. Is git ignore. So git ignore, we use this file when you want to ignore some files while pushing some files. We don't want to push them to the central repository, but I want them in my local repository, but I don't want them to push to the central repository. If we do not want to move the files to the files or folders from our local repository to central repository, that is, so then we have to use git ignore. So first of all, what is the process? Let's try to understand. Create a git ignore file. So I'm doing on dev 1. So I'll say touch git ignore dot, it's a hidden folder file, git ignore ls. If you say ls, you won't see it, but if you say ls hyphen a, you can see it. Git ignore. Now assume I have some files here. For example, I will touch some files here. For example, a dot exe, b dot, another file, and some c dot pdb. Okay, some another file d dot, some what you call bin file, for example, or then x dot var file, for example. Now you say ls, you see we have some two exe files, one pdb file, one bin file. These files I want to be there in my local repository, but I don't want to move these files to central repository. I don't want to move this to central repository. Hope you understanding the requirement. These files I don't want to move. Even the .var file I don't want to move. Okay, but I want to move the other files. Any other file, whatever I create, those I can move. I want to move. Then for that, what you have to do? So whichever files you don't want to move to central repository, then do that. Those files you have to mention in the git ignore file. So open that file vi dot git ignore. Git ignore is opened. Here you can say a dot insert mode, a dot exe, b dot exe, c dot pdb, d dot, what is that other one, bin file, and another e dot var is there, I think x dot var, x dot var. See, one thing you remember, if the x, if this is the first name, the primary name, this is the secondary name. If secondary name with having multiple secondary name with the same name, exe, then you don't need to mention dot a dot exe, b dot exe. Is you can simply, you can say like something like, if you don't want to move all the files which are having extension as dot exe, just you say, instead of saying a dot b dot, just say star here, start a dot exe. That means any file with having secondary name as exe, I don't want to push into the central repository. Similarly, if a pdb bin var are single, that is the reason I have to name them completely. Or else you can also say simply, today we have only one pdb file, tomorrow there may be another file with the same extension .pdb, right? So then you better keep this star.pdb. That means the primary name could be anything. I will say star. Then also star, that's it. So any file with primary name but extension secondary name as exe or pdb bin, these files I don't want to move to the central repository or to the GitHub. Escape, save this file. But one moment, please. Let me go to ignore file first of all. Let me delete this for one moment. Forgot to show you something. Now if you say git status, you see all these files has to be moved to the central repository. All these files has to be moved to the central repository. But after making changes, the changes which I have just now told you, dot git ignore, what else we have? Only 3 types. In where only 2 types. What types else we have? Hopefully 4, I think. Only 4. Okay. Escape. Yes. Now you see, if you say same command, that is git status, you see the remaining files are not showing. Why? Because it checked, the git has checked what this git ignore, because it understands it's a special file. It is a special file, and for what purpose it is used, it knows it. That is the reason it checked what it contains. It contains all the file details which are not to be pushed into the central repository. That is the reason it is only showing one file. Now if you say git push, everything is update. Why it is saying everything update? Can you tell me what is the mistake I did? I could not push it, but it's saying everything is update. Anybody please? Swaraj, how is it? Is my volume clear? Facing some issues? Swaraj?
Yeah, all clear, Madan. No issues.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. So I forgot to commit, right? I forgot to commit. I have to add it. I have to move it to staging. Then I have to move. I have to commit it. Those steps I forgot to do. That's the reason I'm trying to push directly, right? That's cannot be done. That git ignore file added. Now git push. It should work actually. Okay, is a main branch. It's done now. And when you go and watch our repository, when you click on our repository name, the git ignore file should come over here. See, git ignore has been come. Now when you click on it, it should contain all the files which we mentioned. So all those files which we don't want to push into the repository will be mentioned over here. In real time, we use git ignore. Developers use this and they will add those folders and files which they don't want to move into the central repository. Why? Because the GitHub cannot store binary files. Not only binary files, it can store other files. Only binary files it cannot store. And the developer, of course, he has to add those exes var files in anyway into the GitHub git ignore file, as well as the files which you don't want to move to the central repository. So I will end here for today. Tomorrow we'll continue. Okay, if you have any queries, just note it down. Tomorrow we can discuss. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will wait for some time. Or at least let me know, are you clear or not? I'm confused now. Are you able to understand? Are you able to understand the concepts or not? I have to go slow, or I'm confusing. Anything, negative, positive, anything is okay. If I want to hear negatives only, please. Positives, please ignore. Any feedback you want to give, I will correct them. Suraj,
Yeah,
any
Madan.
suggestions? Any suggestions? Anything I have to improve here? Are you able to understand properly or not? Anything improve?
Yeah, I'm
I
able
need to
to
improve.
understand, and actually, I can able to connect also to the topic because previously in the projects I have worked also on this GitHub, but
Wow.
not as a developer or DevOps, but as a supporter, like you know.
Got it. Got it.
managing the files and everything. So for me,
Got it.
it's fine.
Got
This
it.
concept.
Naveen, Naveen, Usha,
My
Uha.
doubts will come from the Jenkins and everything when the DevOps actually comes in the place.
Correct. 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 You are right. Got it. Naveen, Uha, Revanti, any suggestions? Anything need to be improved from my side?
Yeah, from mine very good, Madan. No issues.
Thanks, Naveen. Uha. Okay, got it. Next, Uha, what do you want to add more?
Yeah, and also Madan, could you please repeat once again that git ignore concept tomorrow? So
Oh, sure, sure.
actually, just we are taken like small example, right? But in real time, there will be like dot extension. There are many files in Java projects. So based on
Many
that,
are there.
right? Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, many. But concept is same, Naveen. Concept will be same. The folders, files, whatever you add, everything you have to add that thing. Only adding to the text file. That is the only thing you have to do. Rest everything is same.
Okay, but when you want to deploy that files into like any Jenkins or in Docker containers, so at that time we don't use the dot files, right? We do not deploy any dot files.
Deploy any dot files. I'm sorry. Which files you are
Dot
talking
files,
about?
yes, yes. Dot action files, I'm saying. But in real
Can you
time, we
type
did
it?
not deploy any dot action files, right?
We won't deploy. We will use git
Yeah.
ignore. In real time, we will use git ignore and we will
Hmm.
add the files which you don't want to deploy. Anyway, it won't go to central repository. When we are not pushing
Yeah.
them to central repository, that's enough. Rest of the things, the Jenkins or the containers will take care. Anyway, they won't get those files, right? So no need to worry, right? Anyway, we are not pushing them to central repository. Those files are in our local repository only, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. So, Revanti, any questions? Any observations? Anything you want to add, please?
No, but then fine for me.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay then. Then fine. Okay then. Have a good day. We'll meet tomorrow at same time.
Uh,
Take care.
Hi,
Shibin, I will
Madan.
be there. I will wait, Shibin. I will wait, Shibin. No
Okay,
problem.
okay, okay.
Thanks for everyone for your time.
Thank you, Madan.
Thank you, Suraj.